Hey everybody, Aaron here, and this is another anime review. And today we're going to review the most infamous anime of them all, School Days. And this is my 80th review, guys. So, School Days. I tell you guys right now to type in Google School Days. Just type it in, and you'll find it on a numerous amount of lists. You'll find it on most underrated anime, most hated anime, most underappreciated anime, most the worst anime, etc., etc. You'll find it on a load of lists. It's not on one list per se. But why is School Days hated so much? Personally, if you guys know my channel, you know that I like School Days, and typically, I'm not saying that everything that I review you guys like, but typically, you guys know where I stand with certain things, and you also understand that a lot of the stuff I review, I'm pretty close to what I'm saying is truth for the review. I think that's one thing that you guys like about my channel because I'm not critiquing it in the sense of kind of just to critique it. I'm looking for what I liked about it, what I disliked about it, and most of my anime reviews you guys really appreciate for that reason. And so let's really for the first time I think look at School Days from the guy who actually likes School Days, because a lot of people who hate School Days do reviews of it. Let's do it from the person who likes School Days. Is it perfect? No, School Days is not perfect by any means, but let's talk about it. So School Days starts off with our main character Makoto, who narrates that he hears about a rumor that if you take a picture of another person, so if you're a girl you take a picture of a guy, if you're a guy you take a picture of a girl, and if you can keep that picture as your wallpaper for 7 days without being seen, that person will fall in love with you and be your significant other for the rest of your life. Now, Makoto instantly takes a picture of the girl that he keeps running into on the train called Konoha, and lo and behold, he really digs this girl. He really likes her. He wants to be with her because he's a young high school student. He's someone that's probably hitting of age. He's probably really looking for that kind of relationship finally. And in school, within the first like 10 minutes of the show, he gets spotted right by his friend Sakai, who sees the picture of Konoha and goes, "Oh, I know that girl. I could help you get with that girl." Now, I'll tell you right now, the first sign of I think School Days being kind of creepy in a lot of ways, and kind of where it's going to set off at, is taking pictures of other people without them knowing it. That's voyeurism. Voyeurism is taking a picture of someone without them knowing you're taking a picture of them. It's creepy. Don't do that, guys. It's very creepy. It's something that people have a habit of doing, and it's very odd to me. But even more so is I think the show is already though doing this on purpose to show you, to anticipate, hey, this is what's going to happen. Now, what's really, really kind of interesting about School Days is where it goes from here. Sakai starts helping Makoto get with Konoha, and within the first few episodes, that happens. They become not per se boyfriend and girlfriend right away, but they start going on dates. They start getting to know one another. They start talking to one another more, and it's not just like anything else in relationship wise. It's not always what it's cracked up to be. You might love this girl, or you might love that guy, and within the first couple of dates you might go, wow, I was completely wrong about that person. They're not my speed at all. And that's understandable. That's why dates exist. You want to learn about the other person. But Makoto learns about this other character Konoha and realizes, hey, you know what, I don't know if I like her as much as I thought I did before. And it starts off the kind of trend where Sakai starts picking up on that with Makoto and thinks, hey, you know what, this is my time to get close. And so she starts giving him a lot of mixed things where she starts doing things of teaching him how to approach a girl more, teaching him how to be more gentle with a girl, and even to the point that they start making out at one point. And that's already where the signs of the show being dark come into play. I mean, School Days, I'll tell you guys right now, if you've never seen it, is a very dark anime. It's not Higurashi level dark until like I want to say the end of it, but it is very dark because it starts delving down a pathway of what happens if lust takes over a person. And this is why I right away start seeing where people hate School Days, and I understand it as someone who deals with criminal justice, who studies that, is that they see Makoto as the most hated person. The concept of cheating, which is going to be a big concept in this anime, cheating on women and stuff, pisses people off. It really does. It makes them very mad. It makes them agitated. It makes them start just instantaneously hating that person that's doing the cheating action. And that's understandable because cheating, I think, is a horrendous action. But, you know, it's an action that is very real life. And I think why people hate Makoto so much is because he embodies that cheating aspect. This character will, you watch Makoto go from a normal high school boy into a very lustful man who starts going after girls, and it starts being to the point that he starts losing who he is himself. And that's a mixture of both his environment around him and also his lack of, I don't want to say intelligence per se, but his lack of control. And it's something that's very, very realistic. It's something that happens to people, especially guys, and it does happen to girls too, that they lose control of, their internal desires. Now, School Days, I think then right there is already hated because of that. You hate the character, you don't hate the show. And you hate the character, thus everything else falls into place. Because one thing that everyone loves about anime is finding that character that you love. Those characters that you love to hate, but more so you love. And typically, main characters are not hated because they're per se embodiments of bad characters. They're more so hated in anime because they either are really dumb, they're really atypical, very cliche. They're not typically hated because, lo and behold, they're doing something that people don't like. It's very, think about it for a second. You might think, oh, that's not true. Think about it for a second. Really. Go into some of the anime that you love and think about the main character and think about what do you hate about the main character. Because usually every anime is this is something that every anime has. It's a trope that every anime is built on. Is that it has the good guy, the bad guy, the middle ground guy. Who, you have the good guy always being either stupid but still being a nice person at heart. He's usually the main character. The bad guy is the guy who's typically very bad. I don't know what that noise was, by the way, because that was me trying to figure out what I was about to say. Typically, the bad guy is very bad. There's no middle ground with him. He's always going to do something that's horrendous. He's going to do something evil to the other characters and hurt them, etc., etc. And then you have the middle ground guy, which is the one that he sometimes becomes good. Sometimes he does hear things that are good once in a while, but he's typically still bad, etc., etc. That is where people start picking their sides. They hate this character because he's bad. They hate this character because he's not this good or bad, but they like him because he's still good. That's what typically happens. And in this anime, the main character is hated. He's hated by everyone. Now, besides that, you then start hating the other main characters because you hate Sakai because what she does essentially is she plays with Makoto's heart to the point that it's almost like, wow, you're so-called helping him get with another girl, but yet here you are cheating with him right in plain sight. You're not doing you're doing horrible things just because you also want him. That this is why it's considered a harem anime, but at the same time I consider School Days the most realistic harem I think you'll ever see in anime form. Now, I'm not gonna spoil the ending. I'm not gonna spoil too much of what happens, but that is the beauty of what happened in School Days, is the character concepts are so realistic, it's kind of scary. This is stuff that you hear on the news, you see in the papers, you see online, of people doing horrible things and getting their just desserts in the end, or facing things that are like, wow, we have to deal with this now because of this. You get some girl pregnant because you didn't think before you had the thing with her. I'm not gonna, because I know some of my viewers are younger age, but you did something with her and you didn't think beforehand. So that is what happens, though. That is real life. School Days is an embodiment of possible real life scenarios, and it's stuff that's happened before. The infamous ending, which I don't want to spoil it because I know a lot of people do know what it is, but I don't want to spoil it in case you do want to see the series, is always said it's hated because, oh, it's not realistic. It's not realistic. It is very realistic. You go to the world of criminal justice, you hear stories that are like this to a T, and people don't realize they exist because maybe you don't hear about it in the news all the time. But think about it. You do hear a lot about these stories of crazed lunatics going home, getting really pissed off that someone cheated on them, hurting someone in the process. It happens. It happens. And that's what I love about School Days. I think School Days is not afraid to approach that dark concept. It really is not. It's something that most anime is afraid to touch. They're like, well, we gotta stay away from this. School Days goes right headlong into it. Now, School Days has its problems. We're gonna say that right off the bat. It's very short. I think 12 episodes was not enough for the show, personally. I think that, again, if you hate characters because you want to hate them, this is a show to do that. And unfortunately, that's not a good thing sometimes, all the time. You want to always, sometimes in a show, find someone that's relatable to you. School Days doesn't have anyone that's really relatable. Most of the characters are just dark characters with their full context being messed up. Even the characters who don't seem like they're bad come off as bad at one point or another. It's really very strange to me. But overall, School Days is an awesome anime. That's what I'm gonna say right now. It's an anime that, despite it being somewhat now old, it was based off a very popular visual novel with multiple dead end pathways. Which, if you know what visual novels are, you know that the dead ends are the horrible endings. It has many of those. But the anime takes that concept and runs with it. It really does. It runs with one of the endings particularly. And it's personally one of my top 50 anime. I think this show is amazing. I really do. Overall, if I had to review it A through F, I give it a B plus. You know, School Days is a great anime. It has things that you'll hate about it. It has a crappy opening. I hate the opening song for it. The ending's not too bad, and the last episode music though is one of the best like last ending scene music I've ever seen in an anime. But overall, it like again, the voice acting is all Japanese. There's no English subtitles for this. It does hit or miss sometimes. Some of the characters don't sound like what they should be sounding like. Graphically, again, the animation's a little old, dated wise, even though it's not that old technically, but it is a little dated. But the show is awesome. Highly recommend checking it out if you never checked out School Days. You just want that really surreal, dark story. Anyways, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you guys liked it. Please rate, or please like, comment, subscribe. I always say rate. Kind of stop saying that. And anyways, as always, guys, until our paths cross again in the next review. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.